Hey, what's up, dudes? It's me, Mr. Airon here. Welcome back to another video. So today, in the next video, we're gonna be talking about the annexation of Hawaii in the Airon History Buff channel. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about. I want you guys to also focus on a focused question that I want to write everybody's comments or like basically their thoughts on. The question is, why do you guys think like the U.S. government annexed Hawaii in 1898. So that's why we're going to be, and that's why we're diving into this video. So, but I wanted you guys to write your opinions into this question in the comments down below here. But before we get into this video, if you guys haven't yet, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new. Don't forget to comment and turn on the bell notifications. That way you get notified by every video that I'll be posting in the channel. And yeah, so let's get started here. Alright, here we go. So, let's talk about annexation. So you guys don't know what an annexation, the word means. It means the possession of the taken of a piece of a land or a country, usually by force or without permission. Okay, that's what it means. First, we need to for context for U.S. annexation of Hawaii. So let's get to the Hawaii before the U.S. took over in 1898. So basically, guys, let's first talk over through the whole history of Hawaii before how it became its own independent kingdom and everything before it took over by the U.S. So let's get to that. Alright, so now here, let's first talk about the Hawaiian Islands themselves here. So a group of islands that were called the Hawaii are quite remote here. They are located in the Pacific Ocean, over 2,000 miles from the next closest land. Historians disagree about the first humans reached in Hawaii, but it could be that as early as 200 CE that the first Polynesians from other islands of the Pacific reached the Hawaiian Islands. Over hundreds of years, the more people arrived from the island in the Pacific, probably including the Tahiti and the Bora Bora, and over time, societies have developed across the islands here. Each island that was ruled by at least one chief, or alai, and there were societies that were heretical with a system of rulers, or kapu, regulating the conduct. Many Hawaiians commoners were farmers who built stone aqueducts to irrigate their farms or tended fish ponds that were built in the near ocean and raised the stockpile fish here. So basically there's been basically the first Polynesians that were then basically immigrated here into the Hawaiian Islands around the 200 CE, and they were ruled by different chieftains or system and known as the kapu, and such as that probably then inhabited over the Tahiti and the Bora Bora, and that they basically were hunting about the fish and the stock of fish pile, and till they eventually agriculture had basically grown, and then till before the civilizations and settlements had been formed. Alright, so now let's talk about the British arrival here. So by 1778, the British explorer James Cook arrived in Hawaii with 2 ships. The Hawaiians welcomed and celebrated Cook, but he was killed by Hawaiians in 1779 in a dispute over the stolen boat. The crew members were killed, Hawaiians, and burned homes in retaliation before sailing away and returning to England. But the British visit had changed Hawaii in a more ways that one British brought diseases and that would kill large numbers of Hawaiians, as well as guns and cannons. They also spread about the word about the island that after the initial visits from Cook, more foreigners began to arrive at the islands, missionaries, especially from the United States, that arrived in 1819, and they aggressively worked on to convert the Hawaiians to Christianity. So, and also, what the thing about Captain James Cook by then is that he was a British explorer who basically circumnavigated the globe, and basically he then built his colonies and established all through these settlements, such as in Australia and New Zealand and Fiji, and so to build over their gains into wealth and trades and establish the growth of their British Empire, and And basically, like, that they brought diseases and trades and resources to but then they, like, there was this stolen boat theory. Then, like, basically there were claims that basically that the natives had basically killed also for the Captain James Cook here, and that they were performing some sort of, like, basically a ritual here, and that they burned the bones there, and like and that killed Captain James Cook, but that was then sent to England. And then many men of their thought that looked at the bones and they were like, "Oh my goodness, they ate Captain Cook here," which is actually basically false there, because they did not actually, they were not cannibals, and they did not eat. Did not eat Captain James Cook. They were just performed some sort of religious ceremony that the Hawaiians had been more performing here. And yeah, so let's go to here. The Hawaiian unification. So in 1782, just a few years after the arrival and the death of Captain Cook, the Island Nui, the high chief of the island of Hawaii, was also known as Big Island, Kamehameha began a series of wars against his neighboring alali to take control over the island. By 1795, Kamehameha had won control over almost all the Hawaiian Islands and declared the established kingdom of Hawaii. By 1810, all of the islands had joined. So basically, this is like a unification of Hawaii that was basically went to a series of wars and civil wars until they were conquered, and basically the Kamehameha unified and to an independent, like unified kingdom of Hawaii. All right. Now let's go to government reform. So this is Kamehameha III, a picture of him. So Kamehameha III, who was the son of Kamehameha the Thirst, who took power in 1825. Following the passing of his brother, Kamehameha II my bad. Kamehameha II, in the 1840s, and he sent delegations to the United States and European countries to to recognize Hawaii as a sovereign, independent country, which they did. During his reign, he also led a series of reforms to structure the government and land ownership in Hawaii. These included enacting the Kingdom of Hawaii's first constitution, which established a constitutional monarchy, and introducing the system of private land ownership and a series of land reforms called the Great Maili. These reforms were divided the land between the alali, the nobility, or the moi, the monarch, and the makamanani, or the common people. Had also introduced a law that it allowed foreign citizens to own land at the first time. With these reforms, with many manawanani which ended up losing their land, with the white planters, which many of the descendants of the missionaries brought a massive amounts of farmland, often very little money, to use their sugarcane and production. Within a few decades, small group of white and European planters controlled 4/5 of the arable, unusable to grow crops land in Hawaii. And then we have the Bayonet Constitution by King Kalakaua, who a group of mostly American businessmen living in Hawaii formed the Hawaiian League, aka the Annexation Club, to push the American annexation of Hawaii. In 1887, they led an uprising against King Kalakaua, and they threatened violence and forced him to sign a new constitution that greatly reduced his powers. This was referred to as the Bayonet Constitution, since he agreed under threat by a bayonet that they signed a new constitution. That the new constitution transferred almost all power to the members of the Hawaiian League, who made themselves government officials. The King Kalakaua died in 1891, and his sister, Liliua Kalaniani, became queen. So let's go to her. The annexation. By 1892, Queen Kalilukalini supported the efforts to revise and strengthen the Constitution. She wanted to give the voting rights to Hawaiians, take away the voting rights of the non-Hawaiians, and return power to the monarch, and requiring the Queen to sign the proposed legislation before it became law. In 1893, the Hawaiian League led a coup d'etat jihad and to the Stanford dole, yes, that dole, against Queen Liliuokalani, successfully overthrowing her, and they proclaimed the establishment of the Republic of Hawaii and worked with the U.S. government official in Hawaii who immediately recognized them as a legitimate provisional government. And the Queen was arrested at the gunpoint by U.S. Marines and spent 8 months in prison. In 1897, the Hui Aloha Ania and the group of Hawaiians opposed to annexation, held by a mass meeting to protest annexation. The following year, representatives from Hui Aloha Ania and the Queen Liliuokalani traveled to Washington, D.C. to present the petition of the arguments against the annexation to U.S. senators. In February of 1898, following the Spanish-American War had begun, Hawaii was a prime location for refueling ships and establishing military base in July. And Hawaii, until then, after the Spanish-American War here, it was then later incorporated and annexed by the U.S., until Hawaii had annexed to the U.S., and then Hawaii became the 50th state in 1959 after the Second World War. Alright, and here's just documents here, and I think that's mostly pretty much about it here. Yeah, so, and I also have just focus questions and just a bunch of assignments, but yeah, but mostly that's pretty much it about the whole presentation of mostly the history of Hawaii. And yeah, I hope you guys did learn something new here, because I feel like I did learn a lot here. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions or like thoughts or opinions of the history of Hawaii, please share your thoughts in the comments below. But yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something new. And if you want to see more history content still, something like this, then what are you waiting for? Please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you're new. Don't forget to comment and turn on the bell notifications. That way you get notified by every video I'll be posting in the channel. And yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. So, Mr. Airon's out. Peace.